So a list is just a sequence of data values called items or elements. An item can be of any type. There are some real world examples of this, like you see here, like a shopping list for the grocery store, a to-do list, let's say, a roster for an athletic team, a roster for or a guest list for a wedding, a recipe with a list of instructions, a text document which lists of lines, words in a dictionary, names in a phone book. So the logical structure of a list is similar to the structure of a string. Each of these items in a list is ordered by position. Like a character in a string, each item in the list has a unique index that specifies that position. So the index of the first item is 0, and the index of the last item is the length of the list minus 1. As sequences, list and strings share many of the same operators, but include different set of methods. Now we can examine those in further detail here in this case, where you actually have some examples here of list literals. So in Python, a list is written as a sequence of data values separated by commas. The entire sequence is enclosed in square brackets. So you can see here, apples, oranges, and cherries, okay? So you're seeing in that case, you have that is a list of strings. You do actually have a list of lists, if you will, where you can actually have 5, 9, 54, 5, 4, 1, 7, 8 here, okay? Now, keep in mind, it is interesting when Python, the interpreter, evaluates a string literal. Each of the elements is evaluated as well. So when an element is a number or a string, that literal is included in the resulting list. However, when the element is a variable or another expression, its value is included in the list. So you can see here, we actually have the math package, and let's say we have x is assigned to the value of 2, then we can actually see that whatever we actually have the function, the result is that function, the square root of that particular x value that's there of 2, okay? So keep in mind, a list of integers can also be built using a range and list functions. So keep in mind that you actually have two lists that are here, let's say first and second. So you got first, that's just a list of numbers. Then you have second, that's going to be a list and have a range operator that's going to be in there. So you can see the range could be associated with that. Now, the length function and the subscript operators, the open and closing square brackets, work just as they do for strings. So the length of, let's say, first, that list array is 4, and let's say the first element 0 is there, and then you would actually have 2 to 4, let's say here 3 comma 4 would be the second and the fourth element that would be associated with that particular list that's associated with that. They work the same way they work in strings. So to print the contents of a list, you can actually print, you'll see here 1, 2, 3, 4, but if you print the list, you will see it acts as they do without brackets, if you will. Okay, you got the list here, but if you print this guy, it just prints the contents. The in operator detects the presence of an element. So it sees if, let's say, 0 is in that list 1, 2, 3, which this is obviously false. There's a set of other list literals here You'll see this as far as a subscript that's being used to access an element at a given index position. You can have slices of a sublist. You can concatenate the list. You can print the list. These particular ones, we're going to have this in an assignment here, so that way you can actually see things. You actually have the comparison operators, you have the for loop, okay, and you can see if those things are in the list. You can see any value. The last one there is in the list L.